Well, in the spirit of New Gen Gold, we thought we'd come out here to the Pilbara and the Paydirt Reward prospect, part of Novo and Artemis's JV, which is making so many headlines at the moment. It's been an interesting journey so far. The trip's only just started, but we've already managed to pull off a little bit of a find already. So hopefully all the delegates will have as much luck as we've done so far today. See you soon.
About a year ago, we got word of a discovery made by local prospectors here using metal detectors, and we determined the gold was coming from conglomerates that had never been mapped before. So upon learning this, confirming the geology, we started staking ground aggressively in the early part of this year, did some land deals with some other parties, and we put together a very large land package. We have about 10,000 square kilometers in the Karratha region, and we're currently focused on exploration on the Paydirt Reward and Comet Well part of that system. It's basically where the conglomerate comes to surface, daylights.
Quentin, we visited the Paydirt Reward yesterday, and we've seen some activity there. Can you explain to us a little bit of what Novo's doing at the minute and what the aim of the activity is?
Sure. We've got really a three-pronged approach to exploration at the moment. We're doing core drilling. The core drilling is giving us good geologic information about the conglomerate horizons, their dip, their composition, and so forth. Then we're doing large diameter drilling. That drilling is intended to give us large samples that we can use for assay for this very nuggety style of mineralization. And then third, and probably most importantly, we're doing these trenches. We're doing systematic trenching down the strike of the outcrop. And that information is really going to help us determine the geology, grade. We can get bulk samples out of those trenches, large enough samples to get meaningful assay.
People have drawn a lot of analogies with the Witwatersrand Basin in South Africa. What's your feeling? Do you know what you're onto yet?
Yeah, look, the concept that we have, or we started with, is that these are nearshore marine alluvial deposits. There's a few of these modern analogs around the world. Nome, Alaska is one. The marine terraces on the west coast of Namibia are another. They mine those for diamonds. Anyway, these marine deposits are a particular type of alluvial system. A lot of people think these are like little river channels or something, and they've got concentrations in river bends and whatnot. It's not the case. These are actually sheet-like deposits. These are the kind that you form in a marine environment. So we do know that. The gold is quite coarse. The conglomerates they're what we call polymic. They have a lot of different types of clasts in them. So in respect to the Witwatersrand, they don't fit that model per se. They're definitely cousins of one another, but the Wits has finer grained gold, quartz cobbles, quartz pebbles, and it's more organized, things like that. But otherwise, the geology is very similar. We see this as more of a Pilbara version of the Wits. It's got its own characteristics, and where that goes, we don't know yet. But we hope that those deposits do continue out into this basin, like the ones in the Witwatersrand.
Just a final question. I mean, it's been an exciting time. The share price has gone crazy. What do you have to do now in the next 6 to 12 months to put some meat on this story?
Sure. The hard yards are now on us. We got to start doing some pretty serious work. So exploration of Paydirt will be critical. It'll give us our first taste of this. We've got to get the tenements granted at Comet Well. That allows us to then get heritage clearance and step out in that direction. These conglomerate horizons continue down strike for about 8 kilometers. So it's really critical we open up the rest of this property to exploration. And then ultimately, if you're talking 6 months out, we'll also start stepping out and doing some drilling onto 100% owned ground, which is immediately down dip from Paydirt.